So, great news. The bus seems to be starting every time exactly how I want it to. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to rely on it to start every time, but I'm really happy that it's doing that. So I have decided what I'm going to do about repairing the bus. So there is a do-it-yourself garage. There's actually two in Western Washington that I know of, and one of them is expanding to a third location. Unfortunately, they're all a little bit south of where I am now, but it's still probably going to be completely worth it if I can pull this off. So what it is it's a garage. They have lifts. They have all the tools you need. The one that's closest to me actually does have a lift that is capable of lifting this bus. And in fact, in the picture of it, they have a large Sprinter van, which is probably actually bigger and heavier than this bus is. So they charge you, I think it's about $50 an hour to rent the space. And with that, you get all the tools for free. They have a mechanic there or two. I'm not exactly sure how many, but there are mechanics there that are actually trained and certified and know what they're doing. So if you get stuck or need help with something, they can come over and help you out. So I think this would be the perfect place for me to do some of the repairs, like the valve cover gasket that needs to be replaced. So I was looking to see how long it would probably take me to change the valve cover gasket, and I found another video of a guy doing it on an E-350, and it does take a lot longer to do this repair on the van chassis buses. So it took this guy about 7 hours to do it. Yeah, he actually went into pretty good detail of the entire process and how much stuff it took to get to the valve cover gaskets, but I need to replace the valve cover gaskets, and of course underneath the valve cover gaskets we have the glow plugs, which need to be replaced, and the wiring harness, which is almost certainly melted. They tend to melt fairly often on the 7.3 power strokes. It doesn't always cause any issues, but that could be why my glow plugs aren't working. It's kind of hard to know, but if I'm in there replacing those valve cover gaskets, I just need to replace that whole system. So I think that's the plan for the bus. I'm going to save up some money in the next couple of months, and I'm going to rent a booth probably for the entire day. 7 hours is the amount of time it took this guy to just get to the valve cover gaskets and glow plugs and swap those things out. I think I can probably do it a little bit faster, especially if I have a mechanic that can help me out if I run into any problems, and I'll have all the proper tools to actually do the job quickly. So I'm thinking it'll probably take me somewhere in the 10 to 12 hour range to get the bus taken apart and put back together again. So I'll probably call them and talk to them and see what they think. But I'm suspecting if I just rent it out for the entire day, I should be able to get this done in one day. If all I do is just spend the entire day just focused on getting those valve cover gaskets replaced. Of course, if I get done early, I do have plenty of other projects on the bus that need to be worked on, and some of them that need to be done in a shop. For example, I have a tow hitch receiver, which I've been wanting to install on the bus. I actually bought it almost the same time I bought the bus. Unfortunately, the installation of that is going to be a little bit more complicated. I've got to get the exhaust moved out of the way. I have to work around some straps for the fuel tank, because I have a large fuel tank that's sitting in the spare tire well, and so there's some bolts that might be in the way. And I also have to deal with that box in the back of the bus, which I'm probably just going to remove. But to get that off, there are some welds that I'm going to have to break, and they actually have tools to do that. In the meantime, I have a bunch of projects on the bus here that I need to get done. Actually, the day that I broke down and the bus wouldn't start, I was driving down to pick up some packages to start working on some of these projects. The weather is so much better now than it was. It's sunny out, it's a bit windy here, and if you hear random gunfire, that's because I'm next to a gun range. But otherwise, this is a perfect place to get started on a couple of these projects. So first up is this box here, and that is a new blower motor for my HVAC system. Ever since I bought the bus, I've known the blower motor was starting to slowly kind of go out. You could hear a bearing go bad, and it would just suddenly start making horrible screeching noises or just rumbling noises. Pretty sure it's just a bearing or something in the blower motor, but these blower motors are super cheap and easy to replace, so I figured I'd just replace the entire thing. We'll probably clean out the little compartment that it's in, see if there's any leaves and stuff that are stuck in there, and we can get this project done pretty quickly, I think. It's just a handful of bolts, and I'll have to take out the batteries. Okay, so here's the blower motor that I'm going to be installing. So you can see it just has a couple of bolt holes around the outside there. Pretty straightforward. There's a port in the side, so it's basically you just unplug it. I'm not quite sure what this rubber thing is. It looks like an airline of some sort. Probably some sort of part to help cool the motor or something. As you can see, it's pretty simple. There's not going to be a lot to installing this. So here's the blower motor right here. As you can see, it's pretty accessible. I just have to take this battery out here. So I just need to pull off stuff like whatever this connector is. And it looks like this rubber hose here does go to, that looks like some part of the HVAC system, like some sort of air box there. So it probably is cooling for the motor would be my guess. The plug is just right down there, if you can see it. First I need to disconnect the batteries and get that one battery out, which should take like 5 seconds. Alright, there with the battery removed, you can see the blower motor just fine. There's the battery tray. In the videos I saw, they were the gas engine models, and the battery tray must be a little bit higher up, because they had to remove the battery tray, but there's clearly enough room to get around and undo all these bolts up there. One of the problems I'm realizing very quickly is that I need a new tool set. These are cheap tools that I got years ago. I think it was like a free thing from the bank somehow. But yeah, after doing lots of projects, especially restoring that sailboat, most of these tools are kind of shot. One of the bigger problems is I'm missing the adapter here, but you can see none of these tools are really high quality. They're all these star-shaped sockets, which they kind of work. You can also just round over your bolts. Some of the smaller ones in this range are good. Those work a little bit better. Unfortunately, the adapter to use those smaller bits is missing, so I'm having to improvise here. So you can see I have a crescent wrench attached to a screwdriver attachment to a screwdriver that's broken, which is attached to the actual socket. So that's probably not the best way of doing things. So this is the screwdriver that's broken. I ended up getting it to work. The problem was this thing was spinning freely, and so you could apply torque to the screw or bolt or whatever it is, and it would just, and the handle would spin without actually spinning this part down here. So I looked around to see if I could find the adapter or anything else I could use, but this was it. So I got some super glue out and super glued these two pieces together, and it works again. For how long, I don't know, but it's enough to get this project done. I just needed to undo 4 screws. Just those 4 right there. So here's the blower motor. You can hear, yeah, that bearing has some issues. Has a lot of issues. But the good news is, if you look in there, it looks pretty clean. I don't see any issues inside the housing. So it's pretty much time just to pull out the new one and reinstall it. Alright, there we go. It's just 4 screws holding this on. They're not actually bolts, they're sheet metal screws. But yeah, 4 bolts hooked up whatever this plumbing thing is. Snap the connector back in place, and we're good to go there. So I just need to get the battery back in, reattach the battery over there, and I think we're good to go. So I do kind of wonder what this is supposed to go to. Maybe it's just a feature that this bus doesn't have, but this wasn't plugged into anything, and I don't see any dangling cables hanging out that need to be plugged in. So it'd be interesting to find out what that is. Okay, everything's put back together over here. All the batteries are hooked up, and it's just in time too, because my screwdriver that I jerry-rigged broke right as I just finished that up, and the socket that I was using fell down behind the headlights, and I don't want to take everything apart, and I can't really because I need that socket to take everything apart. So that socket's going to stay down beneath the headlights until someday when I need to get back in there again and change it. So I definitely need a new toolkit. That one is just shot, and so I'll be on the lookout for one of those, and it's on to the next project. First I need to clean everything up, put everything away, and depending on the time, eat lunch. I'll probably be heading over to the next campground here pretty soon. Alright, so let's see if my work paid off and I have a functioning fan. First, I'll make sure the bus actually starts. We seem to be running. Alright, so let's turn on the fan and see what happens. Alright, so that works perfectly. On its low setting, I couldn't even hear it over the engine, and on the high setting, it seems to be putting out plenty of air.